Hello and welcome back to another episode of our Bonedo Vintage series. This episode is going to be about Ludwig Stainless Steel drums. It took some time, were multiple reasons. First and foremost, and probably the most important reason, I started working for the Dario last year. And that's the reason why you see the Dario products, Evans drumheads, ProMark sticks and Pure Sound wires on nearly all of the drums. We already made a video about Ludwig stainless steel drums in the past. However, I have to admit that I was never fully happy with it. Mainly because of the reason I was never happy with the tuning. I thought it was always a bit too thuddy. I also think that I chose the wrong heads. So this time I'm definitely trying to make things right and as they should be. And we also do have different sizes than last time. Last time we had that big beat outfit, 12, 13, 16, 22. This time we're going big. So what we have here is a Ludwig stainless steel, vintage Ludwig stainless steel from around 77, 78 in the following sizes. We do have a 14 by 10 inch rack tom, a 16 by 16 inch floor tom, an 18 by 16 inch floor tom, and a 22 by 14 inch bass drum. During the video, when you watch it, I also swap out the rack tom. Again, this is 14 by 10, but I also do own a 15 by 12, which you can see here in the back. So we're going to dive into Bonham water with this video. And yeah, let's see how it sounds. Ludwig stainless steel drums were introduced in the mid-70s. They first appeared in the catalog in 1976. I mentioned that in the video before and I will mention it again. Those were actually not the first stainless steel drums that were introduced on the market. The first ones that did stainless steel drums was a French company called Aspa. However, build quality wise and the way the shells are made of, the Ludwig stainless steel drums are by far the best. Sound characteristics. Okay, well, I mentioned we have big sizes and I can honestly tell you they are really very, very loud. They are not just loud, they're still very, very responsive. They have a certain warmth, but at the same time, they have that really like cutting and very muscular sound. When I started playing on that video here, and we looked at the peaks in our DAW software, we were all a bit, surprised with the volume that came out on this set. So it's really very, very fun to play. You can definitely lay into the heads, you can definitely lay into the shells, and it's really, really a lot of fun. I really, really enjoy the stainless steel sets a lot. As with all of my drums, I do like to tune drums up. I'm personally not into that like very modern, very low, I call it thing. I don't know. It's personally not my cup of tea. There are dozens of people out there who will agree to disagree, and that is totally fine with me. However, I do like my drums quite high. I do like them open, and I don't dampen them. And this is something which you really can do very, very well with stainless steel drums. You can also tune them low, and they will also sound very, very thunderous. However, when you tune them up, and that's just my personal opinion, you will definitely feel and hear all the glory. And I mentioned before, it's simply fun. Snare-wise, in this video, I do use my beloved Ludwig Superphonic 14 by 6.5 from 1968. Head-wise, we're using all Evans. On the top of the snare, I do use the UV1 reverse dot. On the bottom, I do use the Orchestra 300 resonant. Toms all around, UV2s on top. Genera resonant clear on the bottom. Bass drum beta is an EQ3 clear. And resonant head is an EQ3 smooth white. I also applied the new remit port and the porthole for the microphone. Cymbal wise, all Istanbul agop. My hi-hat in the video is a 15-inch Exist traditional. The cymbal that stood here is an 18-inch traditional Exist crash. Right cymbal is a 24-inch Joey Veronka signature ride. I simply love it. And a 20-inch Aaron Sterling crash ride. Ludwig stainless steel kits were only available for a couple of years. I think 5 in total. I think Ludwig decided to pull the plug in 1980. They received a lot of consumer rejection back in the day. I think one of the main aspects was definitely the price tag, which was incredibly high. I mean, it's stainless steel. It was expensive back in the day, but is even more expensive today. And maybe the whole concept was also a bit ahead of its time. Anyway, in the last couple of years, there was somehow a resurgence in the interest of Ludwig stainless steel kits. And you can also see that on the current price tags on the used market. In the last video, we had that Big Beat kit in 12, 13, 16, 22. I already mentioned back then that our bigger sized stainless steel shells or drums are rarer and more expensive. Luckily, I had the chance to obtain the 24-inch bass drum, the 14-inch rack tom, the 18-inch floor tom, and the 15-inch rack tom for a very, very, very good price on the used market, so I was quite lucky. Anyway, bigger shelled stainless steel drums are currently really very, very expensive. So that set here with 15, 16, 18, and 24 currently costs around 3,000 to 4,000 euros on the used market in good condition. With the 15-inch tom, I think it would even be a bit more, because 15-inch stainless steel drums, real toms, there are some DIY jobs out there, like all those converted snare drums, parade snare drums, or whatever. This is a proper 15-inch stainless steel rack tom. It could even be a bit more. I forgot to mention one funny note. I just spoke about the super expensive rack toms, 14 and 15 inch. Fun fact, both of the drums have snare beds. But they are not somehow converted, or it was not a concert tom or snare or whatever. I spoke with a guy, also stainless steel fanatic, on the internet, and he confirmed that basically every 14-inch and 15-inch stainless steel drum seems to have snare beds. I think the reason for that is Ludwig also built stainless steel parade drums or marching drums, and I think there was only one shell type available. That was the one with the snare beds, and they made snares and regular toms out of them. Again, that's how it was back in the day. Okay, that's it for today. Hit the subscribe button below, and if you're interested in the heads that I'm using, and if you maybe want to experiment with the sound a bit like I always do, we do have some links in the description below where you can get them. So that's it for today, and bye bye.